We have spawning down in the bottom left position one of the GOAT foreigners. It is representing Ting, Neeb, in the red.
And his opponent to the upper right-hand corner of the Zerg player, it is Antis.
And he is a very good player. I think he's very underrated. He is going to have a difficult time going up against Neeb, but to be honest, there is a world where I see him not just taking a map, but taking maybe a very big upset series. He has, and I've mentioned this a few times, he has beaten Zest in a match recently in an online cup, in the Exxon Cup Open a few weeks back. He beat him 2-1. And it wasn't Zest messing around. Zest was playing a win.
Zest was looking for some easy money. He was like, yeah, I can join online cups. Solar was probably like, yo, just join these online cups. You can just crush some nerds and win some money. Zest was like, good call. Got in there. He was like, Antis, I don't know who this is. North American player. Easy. Underestimated him. Let's hope Neeb doesn't do the same.
Yeah, that's going to be... That's going to be an unlikely scenario because I do know that Neeb knows who Antis is. Of course, they are both from North America. Even if they don't practice on the ladder much, he knows Antis from before Antis kind of took some time off for his wrist injury to recuperate. Antis, that being said, is back. He's qualified in to this group. Hasn't had the smoothest start so far. Let's see, did he... I know he lost 1-2 to Disc. What happened in his second series? He did win 2-0 over Rob, which is good. Rob, I would say, is probably the player on the outside looking in here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still, that's just a nice statement match.
Well, and it's relevant too, right? It's the same race, so now we get an idea of how Antis is doing against Protoss. He's got to be doing pretty well to 2-0 Rob. But, Neeb is on the other side of things, right? Rob might be on the outside looking in. Neeb is on top looking down.
Yes.
We were talking a little bit on the break how we have a few players undefeated as of yet in these groups. And if there was one player we would expect could make it through the entire thing undefeated, it was Neeb.
Yeah.
And I think that says
without
a
dropping
lot.
a map is what we're
Without
talking
dropping
about.
a map. Yeah. So not even just a series, but... Now, nothing's guaranteed, but Neeb is that strong where if he didn't drop a map, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. I would still be impressed because
Certainly.
that means he beat some very, very tricky PvP players. That means he beat some strong Zerg players in Jon Snow, Antis, and who is the other Zerg player that... Namshar. Namshar, not as serious as he used to be, but still a very good player nonetheless.
Void Ray, Void Ray opener.
Yeah. What do you make of Void Ray into Oracle out of Neeb?
Well, it doesn't tell us a lot just yet. You can go Void Ray into single Oracle, back into Voids, a double Stargate. That is kind of the opening. We're seeing an expansion, so could lead into that. We also see Twilight Council off the back of this a lot for either some Glaives pressure or sometimes just straight into like charge and getting Archons out. There are a lot of possibilities for Neeb still. We could even see more Oracles. Not out of the question. I've sometimes seen double Oracle with one Void Ray just to try to get a little damage done, scouting done. But we are seeing the second Stargate, so it's just going to be more Void Rays, and this is what I would expect. If there was one player we were going to see in any of these groups across all of DreamHack go double Stargate, Void Ray against Zerg, it was going to be Neeb. He's the most comfortable just trying to get as quick as he can into that late game air. Loses the Oracle, though. That's a bad thing. You don't want that. That's bad.
No, that's really bad, especially since he's only building the one. So that means... he won't be able to reliably scout anymore. It'll be difficult for him to check in and see if there is a Queen Walk push coming his way. That being said, I mean, he did get 5 drones for it, so it's not like it was nothing. That was pretty good right there. It is going to be Mass Void Ray, so he's not going to try and rebuild that Oracle. Now, this was my next question. Was it going to be robotics facility into very quick disruptors to try and preempt that that Queen Walk build like we see Trigger do? Or is it going to be the more standard Forge and Twilight Council, the kind of older school way of playing a la Zest for a while?
Yeah, and this feels a lot like back when Double Stargate Void Ray was really gained popularity and it was all over the place. The first thing we saw against it was actually Hydras. Right into Hydras, sometimes like a Hydra Queen Walk or even a Nidus. We saw a lot of Hydra Niduses. Yes. And quick charge, quick storm was the way to deal with that. That's where this is from. So I expect to see charge with this +1. There it is. And that's going to be great against Hydras. Now, charge lots, they do fine against Roaches as well, and Queens. I think that that can still be okay against Queen Walks. But it certainly is, like you said, kind of an older school way of playing, getting into that heavy charge lot. And I expect fairly soon Archons.
Yeah, I would say very soon. We are going to be seeing one Queen with a lot of energy going down. Ultimately, more Queens from Antis do show up, and he's able to deal with this. Now, we're also seeing this Infestation Pit. Are we going to see it? We did see Stefano yesterday on the B stream trying to go for Swarm Hosts versus... who was it against? It was against a very solid Protoss. Max Packs. And it got absolutely nothing done. Like,
yeah, I
little.
do not like that. Swarm Host, there's a reason we don't see it. The Void Rays are so good at dealing with Swarm Host. That's actually why we started seeing the Void Rays like really super shift the meta, is because Swarm Hosts were a real problem for Protoss for like 2.5 years. You either 2-based all in, or you had to deal with the fact that you might be getting Swarm Host, and that's a really tough thing to deal with. Void Rays shut down Nidus Swarms. One Void Ray kills the Nidus. All you have to do is have a Void Ray nearby, and you kill the Nidus. They're very fast now. They're very mobile. They can move around. They can find the Swarm Host and kill them. The Locusts do nothing to them. It really counters Swarm Host. I'm glad we're not seeing that. Antis teching straight to Hive.
Yeah, that's a really quick Hive. We did see Neeb getting a nice denial on his opponent's, on his opponent's 4th base, and he's going to be moving out here. He did scout that Hive, and he wants to see if he can get something done. He's on 10 gateways with charge. Oh, I don't know about this. He doesn't have any units here.
That's a lot of charge lots. Where are Antis' units?
Oh, where are they? Indeed. A lot of Queens go down. Never mind. Yeah, that went really well for Neeb. And now, at the very least, a ton of creep gets cleaned up.
Yeah.
Where are the units?
And that's a lot of... Yeah, I don't know. They're coming out. It is straight to Hydras. You know, I was talking about it because that was an old style, but that's exactly what Antis did. And Neeb's build just hard counters this from Antis.
Yeah, Antis is just dead. Oh, the Archon. Oh my god. Gets 18 kills.
My god.
Yeah, Antis is straight dead. And that was no quarter right there out of the Protoss player.
That felt very weird. It felt like I was watching a game from like basically a year ago. I think August is when Double Stargate Void Ray came into play, so maybe October I could have seen that build. That exact interaction happen.
Yeah.
It feels a little strange.
I think so. I was looking at the supplies and I was like, I saw that one player was up 30 supply and I was like, oh wow, Antis built like a bunch of roaches, he's up 30 supply. And then it didn't click in for a while that it was actually Neeb who was up like a fair bit of supply. No, he wasn't even up 30 supply. He was, I don't know what I was looking at. My brain fit. No, maybe I was looking at that. Either way, that was like such a surprising thing that my brain literally didn't accept it. It was like, oh, the Zerg is up a lot of supply.
I was like, oh, that must be the Zerg.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just had no units out. He didn't have any roaches. He didn't have any Hydras yet. I don't even think I saw any Lynx. He completely missed the move out from Neeb, and I think that was the big danger, is the Hydras weren't even on the way really until the Queens were dying.
And yeah, I'm looking at the replay now. Yeah, it was a 30 supply lead for Neeb. And I just, my brain didn't accept it. It was like, no. I just assumed that the Zerg would have more, but he had like nothing. All the Queens got taken out. Was there like a supply block that we missed? I don't know. But that was...
He was at 2... Oh, okay, I just just caught it. He was 114 out of 200 supply.
Oh,
I know we already saw a laser today, but
yikes.
that's,
Did we
that's some
though?
overlords.
Ooh. All right, here we
Ooh,
go.
all right.
Game number 2. Spawning up in the top right, representing Murica. It is Antis with the 12th pool.
And his opponent, one of the most American, the most patriotic players that we have in our in this group. The other group has Uncanny, so I won't say that. But we have Tings Neeb.
That we do. And is he going to be able to figure out that his opponent's going for the 12 pool? We do see Antis with a nice little fake, representing that he's going for an expand.
It's the classic move. Oh, keep the probe down here. Oh no, you're blocking my hatchery. Oh no, how dare you?
Oh
And
no,
then the
what a
probe
disaster.
comes in and the drone's like, yeah, haha, there was a pool the whole time.
Zing! Haha, gotcha.
Got him, dude.
You've been bamboozled.
And looks like Antis does want to expand. He gets it down too.
Yeah, Neeb a little bit late with going back to that spot to deny it. Would have liked to have seen one Ling come out and just, you know, kill that probe.
Especially since it was on creep, I feel like the Lings could
Yeah.
have gotten it very quickly. But
Yeah.
Antis just sending him straight across. It's see what he can do. Put some pressure on this wall. Does a Stalker fit through that wall? I assume it does because it's neat. But
yeah, a Stalker will, an Archon will not.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Archons
that's-
don't fit through most things.
No, they don't. They're
They're
chonky
chunky.
boys. Oh, not on hold position. That if Antis had been really, really quick, he might have been able to jump on that. I think probably not, because Neeb is also quite quick. Notoriously good at the video game. How many
He
Lings
is
do we
quite
see?
good.
10 Lings? I love the
Good handful
concept of now
more
trying to
over.
attack that probe. Ooh, we are going to see the Zealots getting surrounded right here. Oh, nice micro
Yeah,
from
good
Antis.
micro.
Oh, this is
Take
really
down
bad
both
for Neeb.
Zealots. That's a lot of Lings left over.
Oh, God. This
the
is-
Cybercore's getting low. It's in a nice position, though. I really like how Neeb has this wall. But
But these Lings are
Cybercore's
going to
gonna
get
die.
through. Oh, and he can surround the Adept. Neeb
Yeah,
needs to attack the one on the top. He does. Antis with a big mistake. He could have sealed it in. Oh, that's a huge mistake and a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, but also very good control from Neeb to recognize that there's only one Ling on the north side. Killed that, got out of there, canceled the Shade, and was still able to keep that Adept alive. Now he can put some counter pressure on. Losing the Cybercore sucks, though. This is going to delay any tech. This is going to delay Warp Gate. It's going to delay further units from coming out. Neeb, yeah, it's something he has to deal with.
Yeah, considering the fact that he didn't get a Stargate down or anything like that, this is still a big win for Antis, and there's no more Adepts. It's just these two. So this is overall... Never mind, there was a third Adept that was built, but he's keeping it at home to hold the wall. Still, this is a good situation for Antis, a good, successful 12 pool, but it could have been even more so. Oh, bold shade.
Yeah, I think that Adept's going to die. The Queen's right here, just on the edge of creep.
Oh yeah, it's definitely dead. Oh,
Oh my
1
God.
HP.
Oh!
Okay. So, So okay. Queens deal 3 damage per shot. That should have killed the Adept. It dropped it from 6 HP to 1. There's a weird thing that's happened a few times, where
That's very strange.
queen attacks are supposed to kill enemy units and they don't. I've seen that multiple times. One time it actually affected the outcome of a game between Sham and Parting, where Parting's Void Ray survived with 1 HP and regenerated a bunch of shields, and it snowballed the game.
That's actually kind of insane.
Yeah, it's happened a few times.
On the flip side, I saw a game yesterday where the Adept shaded out. It was on this map even. Shaded out from the main, and it was already the shaded finished. The Queen Spine went all the way to the shade. It was like 30 range Queen.
Tempest Queen.
So, yeah. Pound-Seal Tempest? Anybody? We
Goblin
have,
calls them
again,
Tempest.
Void
so-
Ray Oracle.
Yeah.
The classic. I wouldn't be surprised to see Neeb go for double Stargate Void Ray again. I don't see why he wouldn't, to be honest with you.
Antis did see that the second unit is Void Ray, an Oracle, so that's good. And he's already got some decent creep spread. Oh, this Overlord. No, it's going to get saved by Antis, I think. Yeah,
saved by
easily.
the Queens.
Queen saves the
second
Obi.
Oracle on the way. So Neeb going a little heavier on the Oracles this time. Not putting down a second Stargate as he takes his third base.
Antis once again losing 3 drones right there. Good job from Neeb, but also a little bit of a mistake. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of Adept. He's only done this off 2 gates.
Yeah, this is a little move out.
Yeah, Antis has nothing to react to this. He's building Lings now, but he's going to take a lot. A lot of losses.
Yeah, this is some big damage from Neeb. Queens just don't kill Adepts that quickly.
I think he managed to somehow stagger his Adept fire. Oh, we are going to see a lot of Adepts go down, but they do shade out. 13 drones, though. God,
Yeah,
that was so good.
Look at the worker count right now, 32 to 45, and Neeb's got his third up. It looks like it took a bunch of damage. I don't know what happened over here. It must have been a Ling run by, but it stayed alive. It's regenerating shields, and Neeb's got triple pro production. And now he's going to get more kills. There's no Spore Crawler. Well, I guess if he just doesn't target down the drones, it works out all right. I think he could have gotten like 5 drones there if he had stutter step through, but he was probably focusing back at home on the Ling attack.
Yeah, very likely. Nexus is going to take a bit of damage, so it interrupts that shield. Oh, look at that! Look at that mineral stacking right there. Nice job, Neeb.
Cute stuff. Cute movement. And there's that charge and +1 again. Getting into Immortals this time. I feel like Neeb's gonna get a big ground pounding army up, and might just be able to do a little 3-base move out at some point.
Yeah, this looks really good for Neeb in this game.
Feels so late. That is a 7-minute lair, which means there's not going to be roach speed. There's not going to be follow-up tech. He's just now starting +1 missile attacks as well. I'm not loving this for Antis. I'm getting a little concerned.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting flashbacks of the previous game. This is feeling like Neeb is just very confident right now. He's going up to 6 gates. And there's the other 4. It's going to be another 10-gate charge lot push.
Yep, and this time Temple Archives is about to finish up. He's got an Immortal with this. He's going to take a 4th base.
Yeah, he did the same thing in the previous game. This looks really good for Neeb. I am very concerned for Antis. He is going to be on Roaches and Ravagers, so he's less likely to just fall over this game. But this is still a little bit scary.
It's going to be a lot heavier on the ground for Neeb, though. Last game, there was like 6 Void Rays as well.
True.
And this game, it's just going to be ground units, which, he's keeping the Immortal count up. If you get some Charge Lots and Archons, Roach Ravager is decent against it, but it's still a little bit scary. Antis has a lot of army supply, though. He's been making a lot of Roaches.
Yeah. Oh, meanwhile, we got Oracles just switching on their Pulsar Cannons, forcing a cancel right there. Oh, doesn't switch off the Oracles, which is a little bit unfortunate. That's funny, they both drained their energy at exactly the same moment.
That is kind of fun. They must have already done that.
That's the only way. Energy. Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. We're going to be seeing another Infestation Pit coming down. Oh. Okay.
No, we're not. Because it's going up somewhere else.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I really hate the positioning on it. It was so weird. Like, it wasn't hidden, but it was super exposed.
Yeah, and I think he probably had the exact same thought. He was like, why did I put that there? Go over here.
This doesn't make sense. I'm good at this game. Why am I doing this?
I'm glad he canceled it and put it somewhere else. I think some players just leave it. Yeah. They're like, it's not worth fixing. And I'm like, it's kind of worth fixing.
But it kind of is, though.
Like,
and they're like,
it depends on how early you find it. If it's finished, you don't want to put a second one down, but that was early on. There's a lot of Roach Ravager.
Yeah, wisely disengaged from this. He does lose an Archon, and some nice Corrosive Vials will take down these force fields. Neeb doesn't have a War Prism with this. This is a really dangerous moment for him. He's down 50 army supply. He needed to disengage, but he's not going to be able to.
Those force fields were really nice. They allowed him to trim off a lot of the Roaches. The Immortal's doing a lot of damage in the back, but the Queen's coming with this means the Oracles are all dead. and they just have a lot more staying power. 18 more roaches on the way. I don't even, he just got roach speed, so Antis is just going with these +1 speed roaches, and he is up almost 90 army supply right now. That was crazy.
Yeah, and well, it looks like the dream of Neeb 14-0ing this group is under severe threat. +2 weapons not yet done. A lot of charge loss warping in, but there's so many Roach Ravagers. So many Ravagers, in fact, 14 of them. And still no Warp Prism to save these units. There is a lot of shield batteries, but that's not going to be enough. What are we seeing game 2 going in the favor of Antis?
Yeah, it's looking very good for Antis. Neeb just not recognizing how many Roaches and Ravagers there were on the map. Pulling the probes to try to fight, but that is never a good sign. Immortals getting shot down, getting surrounded by Lings. He's going to recall a couple of these Immortals, but one's going to fall before that recall gets off.
Just
Link is nowhere near done. And Antis, he's not all in with this. He's got a Hive behind this. He is on a kind of low drone count, but he's gotten plenty of damage to cover that. He's putting himself in a fantastic position. I don't know if Neeb can actually hold.
Oh, he definitely cannot. This is going to take... Not without taking huge damage to his economy. He's already lost the 4th base, basically. All the probes there. He is going to pull some of the probes. Another Immortal getting caught out here. And still no War Prism. Oh, man. This is just too much. And I got to say, Neeb, he kind of bamboozled himself here.
Yeah.
Oh, the Corrosive Biles turning off all 4 gateways.
That was super sick.
That was really nice. Yeah, so... Neeb kind of pushed out into Antis doing like... Antis was kind of doing like even though he's on 4 bases, a 3-base all-in. He was on like 64 drones. And he had just maxed out as Neeb was pushing up a ramp. And that's funny because that's the exact way that Antis beat Disc yesterday. Disc attacked up that very same ramp in the middle of the map, threw down some decent force fields, but just got absolutely overwhelmed by Roach Ravager Queen, and then just lost the game from there because they were pushing out with like an army that wasn't that efficient at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think Neeb just needed a little more scouting information. If he was at home playing defensively, a couple extra shield batteries, just getting his units up, maybe a Warp Prism like you were talking about, and those force fields still all available, I think Neeb's in a totally fine position. I don't think that attack does too much.
Yeah,
but
I got to agree.
He's out on the map, and like you said, he needed to disengage. If he'd thrown down force fields and walked away, again, I still feel like he has a much better shot at holding all of that. Antis was kind of all in. I said he wasn't, but only after he killed 15 probes.
Yeah.
He was on 64 drones. You know, he didn't have a huge follow-up to that. Getting into Hive, but no +2 attack, nothing like that. Neeb just needed to, like, buckle down and hold that. He just didn't realize that that's what he had to do until it was too late.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, it's... I wouldn't call it a fluke, but definitely not the kind of thing we expect to see out of Neeb. That being said, good job by Antis, and all of a sudden, maybe he pulls an upset. Let's see. Let's get into it. Final game of the night for this DreamHack Masters Fall Group B stream alongside Chicken Man. We have spawning up in the top left position of Romanticide representing Ting. It is Neeb in the red.
And his opponent in the very blue trunks, the Zerg player, Antis.
And look at what he's going for here. He's gone for a pool first. He's pretending to take the hatch again. And he is going for a proxy hatch.
Ooh.
Wall or natural? What's your thoughts?
I think this one's got to be natural. No, you know what? He pulls back. Might just be wall. There you go.
Oh, it is going to be the wall. And this is in a really tough spot for Neeb to deal with. Oh, man. Trying to build a defensive wall around this is very uncomfortable looking. Now, that being said, okay, I like this pylon.
The pylon's nice. He's not pulling any probes just yet. A lot of times I see Forge against this, so I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing that.
Against the just 16 pool, you can get away without building a Forge, but you got to be extremely careful. Extremely careful. There we go. There are probes coming on down now.
Yeah,
this is
5 probes. The Zealot already out. Like you said, this is a slightly later pool. It's not a 12 pool. That's why I wasn't sure where he was going to put the hatch. Usually I see this with 12 pool, but
yeah,
these Lings are going to be so late. Zealot. Come on, Zealot.
Yeah.
Get on that hatchery. The lings are going to be so late that I think the cancel's already going to go down on this.
Yeah, most likely. Neeb forcing Antis to stay at home with these lings by dropping that pylon. Nice move. Yeah, I think he just full walls, right? Like he forces the cancel and he can prevent this from causing any further problems.
Yeah, and there's not very many lings out on the map. It's just 6. So 2 zealots wins that fight.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing I will say, this has forced a hideous wall for Neeb.
It's gross.
This is...
yeah, it's extremely gross. But it's easily fixable. He doesn't have a pylon in a really vulnerable spot.
Yeah, yeah.
He can put like 2 buildings down and be totally fine. Obviously, he probably doesn't want to do that. Oh, okay.
Okay, please Baneling bust this. Please.
Yeah. For the love of God.
Oh my, this is begging to be busted because now 2 pylons power both these gateways. And then any unit in the wall is going to get hit by Banes. Oh my God.
Oh no. Antis isn't going to do it though. He's double expanding.
There's no way he does it here.
Nobody Bane busts anymore. It's a
Denver
it's a
does.
Lost art. Denver does?
Denver does. And
I suddenly like Denver a lot more.
He actually beat Trigger in an ESL Open Cup with a Baneling bust. And it was actually the pivotal map. Now, granted, Trigger really botched the defense. Like, royally botched it. Still. It was... I was happy to see it, because I was like, nice. Nice. Double Adept, double Zealot making his way forward. Do you think this is going to get anything done?
The Adepts might be able to if they shade up into the main, but it looks like the Lings have been on top of it. It's a nice little move out. He's got to be careful, though. It's always hard to tell exactly when Speed is going to finish. We can see exactly where it is, but Neeb can't. And Speed can really mess you up here if you're out on the map with these units.
This is legitimately just giving me... Like, I don't think this pylon powers this Stargate, right? The one on the bottom?
I think
it's
they
like,
all do. I think
they do?
All 3 pylons power that Stargate, yeah.
Okay, I don't think we're going to find out because, once again, we're not going to see a Bane bust. A lot of damage coming in on this hatch. Wow.
It hurts. Yeah, the Ling's a little afraid to go engage with this, and Queens just don't do that much damage against these units, as we can see. They've been working on them for about a year, and they've almost taken the shields off of them. But finally, Neeb will walk away. Speed is now done, so he's got to be careful. Actually, Antis is going around to intercept those units out on the map.
Ooh, and he's going to grab them. That should be
these
at
units
least...
are very good against Lings, but...
Oh.
I don't know where Antis is going.
Yeah, he could have killed those all off. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Finally. Kind of fixing the wall.
Kind of? What is this? What is this wall? This is a rotting wall. I've seen this wall before. It's kind of a bait, though. There's like a backup wall already, so even if there was a Bane nest, he could like squeeze those units in again next to the other pylons, and it's kind of cheeky in that way. That's such a weird looking wall.
It's so gross. Like, it still just bothers me so much. We are seeing Neeb going with, I think, a similar setup to what we saw in Game 1 with those... Or sorry, that was Game 2. Game 2 with a bunch of Adepts. Ooh, nice snipe. Look at him using that Void Ray like an Oracle. Just picking off drones.
Gets a drone.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I didn't quite pull it far enough back. Meanwhile, Oracle going to get into the natural.
Oh my God, there's no more.
Why does this keep happening today? So many players are just leaving bases undefended against Oracles.
I don't know. There's something like running through the water today. There must be. Shield batteries, spore crawlers, missile turrets have all been extremely pivotal today.
Yeah. Missile turrets have been like game winning or like just like in one case they were game winning, in another they got like 6 kills versus air units. And then we've had like 4 games where there's just been no static defenses against Oracles in natural bases.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do we got going on here? Like you said, it looks like Neeb gonna move out on the map again with some of those. I assume they're Adepts. Some sentries too. This is a very strange looking. That's a campaign army right there. That's the army
Right?
that they send at you when you have to like build a defense.
Yes.
And this is like wave 2. This is wave 2.
Yeah. Yeah. This is wave 2 on at least, like, I think hard. Ooh, are we going to see a sentry get picked off? Yes.
One sentry goes down. What? I don't know what Neeb expected to happen over here. He was like, if you have no units, I might be able to kill a queen.
What are those spine crawlers? Please
I don't
cancel
know.
those. Oh, Antis,
No.
why? Is this his first time seeing the third? Did he not know there was a third base?
No, he saw it. I checked
Okay.
his vision. He was like, you want me to build static defense? Fine, I'll build static defense.
No, not like that. Just don't die to oracles. And he's like, what's that? Oh, meanwhile, was
Wait,
there a
what?
stasis ward?
It must have been, right? That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, look at this income advantage graph. This is just the most violently all over the place thing I've ever seen. What is
If your
happening?
heartbeat looked like that, they would have to get the defibrillator out to restart your heart.
Yeah, just throw the whole heart away at that point.
Get a new one. Go mech and get a pacemaker.
Meanwhile, they've got... okay, so I like that Antis is going double Evo. We did see him hold on really nicely on this map versus Disc. But why? What's with the positioning on them? They're like... I feel like this game was specifically an agreement between the two players to just ruin anyone who has the slightest bit of OCD. They're like, all right, Neeb, we're going to ruin these guys' days. And Neeb was like, why would we do that, Antis? And he's like, no, trust me. This will be hilarious.
If you edit this game just right and submit it to rank roulette, I'd guess
Oh.
Diamond 3. Like,
Oh,
the
man,
move out
yeah.
from Neeb with just a random group of army that nobody's ever seen before and the recall immediately, I'd be like, what is that? No Spore Crawler? Weirdly placed buildings? Like, what do we got going on here?
I actually, that's actually so perfect because that little move out is like, oh man, that, like you've just stumbled on a gold mine. This is how we get the highest score in rank roulette history, because it's gonna be, oh man, that's such a good idea. You don't even have to edit it that much. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, you really, it's just so wonky. Like, what are we doing? And if you imagine looking at the wall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
Imagine Hearthstone looking at this wall. What rank do you think he would say?
Hold that thought. We've got a big movement on the front. 1-1, not quite done. Some good force fields right there from Neeb. Antis is going for another Roach Ravager Queen push. Oh, that's a lot of Ravagers and a lot of sentries using up their force field energy. There are 2 Colossi here. They've got +1 attack, but no extended thermal lance.
The Colossi are really nice to have, though, and you kind of called it. Antis hitting at a bit of an anti-time in that first engagement right before 1-1. And now he's realized pushing up that ramp is a little too much. That's why we see Romanticide is as easy to take a third base, because you have to push up a ramp. Queen's getting caught, but they're transfusing. One goes down.
Oh, no.
That's a lot of Roach Ravager, though.
And oh, God. Oh. 6 kills and 4 kills. Could have been a lot worse. And we're actually going to see Antis still jumping on his opponent's army here. Corrosive taking out a couple Stalkers and clipping that Immortal. All the Immortals will go down. And now Antis is going to dodge this Purification Nova. The funny thing behind this, he had a Hive. He's got Vipers. I think he's actually about to win this game.
Antis is in a great position right now. Look at that supply lead, and I had no clue that there were Vipers out already, and Neeb does not either. He's about to get Colossi yoinked, and that is not a good position to be in.
No, it is not.
Can get some shots off. That was a pretty decent connection. Oh my God! Oh,
okay, well,
too late.
The other one gets picked off by a nice blink. Oh, and another disrupt. Oh
My God!
Neeb, in most likely a game-losing scenario, pulls the disruptors out and gets some big damage, but this is still a dangerous situation. Force field will kind of slow this army down. Corrosive Biles do get dodged. Nice job. First Colossus.
Very nice, pulling the Colossi back at the perfect timing, keeping them alive as long as possible. Another Nova comes out, but it does get targeted down. But the Blink Stalkers have just been so good, pulling back at just the right times. Neeb's micro in these engagements has been impeccable, and Antis, he had the tools, but they were just too late to the party. The Vipers came in after the Novas. One of them gets sniped down by Neeb's good Stalker control, and all of a sudden, Neeb is even in supply with somebody going Roach Ravager. That is not where you want to be as the Zerg player.
Yeah, looking at that army value, not a promising sight. Nice dodge on those corrosive vials. I don't think they were going to hit anyways, but still, good job that he's paying attention. I really thought Neeb was dead there. I thought he was just completely dead, and I think Antis felt that too. Ooh, nice snipe on the Overseer.
Oh.
Picks off a Queen too. God, great moves.
Yeah. I mean, these Blink Stalkers are so... This is a reason why we've seen Blink Stalkers so heavily in this matchup recently. They give you a lot of potential to get hit by Biles. And take advantage of that for sure.
Perfect. That was perfect caster switch right there. That was beautiful.
Yeah, he's just poking and prodding, but he's taking a base during this. He's taking a fifth. Neeb's in a great spot now. Antis was in such a good spot, but now he needs to do something to get back into this. He needs another unit, and that unit is, I think, called a Lurker.
Yeah, that's
the unit I'm looking for.
Now, for a long time, Neeb did not build High Templar there, and he was pretty exposed for to the Vipers for a while. Man, I'm just so impressed with the fact that he not only survived, but took an amazing fight. And I want to talk about what I think happened here. I think Antis smelled the blood in the water. He was like, oh, you just pushed into me. You just pushed into me, and I have Vipers, and you have robotics units that are the linchpin of your army. I'm just going to abduct them, and I'm going to win. And he got so overzealous.
Yeah.
And he just had his positioning a little off. Yeah.
I guarantee you he clicked on those disruptors with his Vipers, not realizing they were so far away that the Disruptor Novas were going to get off. You know, he probably selected his Vipers, clicked yoink, and then was like, oh no, they are too far away, and it was just too late. And because he yoinked them like 3 seconds later, now he's going to get a few. Those Novas were not that great. Storm isn't done yet. So these High Templar are sitting ducks, but there it goes. Finishes up just in time to hit a lot of these Roaches. That is a ton of Blink Stalkers, and I think people underestimate how good Blink Stalkers actually are against Roaches. They're quite good. They can't tank a lot of damage, but they can just blink out of the way as long as Neeb has decent blink control. They can buy a lot of time.
And they can do that.
Oh, he blinks forward.
Ooh.
Beautifully done.
Nice abducts, though, on the two Disruptors. There's now no splash damage. It's one Storm that the High Templar does not yet have.
Oh.
Nice Blinding Cloud.
Nice Blinding Cloud. The Colossus is doing a lot of damage in the back. This Colossus that's a master Colossus with 19, 20 kills. And the Immortals are really, really helping. Neeb's going to clean this army up. Antis just going to tap out, only building Roaches.